Hi guys, I am doing a quick changing video of Miss Luna, who is my RealCare 2 Plus. I was going to do a quick demo video of her, and then I realized, diaper's falling off, that I need to charge her again. So last time I charged her was probably 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It looks like I also need to kind of clean her because she's looking a little dirty, dusty. I know Crystal just had a refurbished one sent back to her where Luna isn't turning pink. It's almost like she got darker. Her vinyl kind of turned darker. And I'm not her first owner. I purchased her on eBay May last year, and she came to me this way, and I never really attempted to clean her up, but she's supposed to be a Caucasian baby, but honestly, she to me looks like a darker Caucasian than like my neonate boy. But hopefully next week there should be 2 other Caucasian babies that I can compare her skin tone to. Excuse me. It has been kind of an emotional weekend. I'll explain in a bit. I wanted to show you her outfit before I put on her. It is Baby Gap size up to 3 months. It's Baby Gap size up to 3 months. And it has this little bird on it that says Baby Gap. And then there are these Baby Gap up to 3 month matching shorts. I've had these for a while. I purchased them, years ago. It was before I even had kids. For my baby think-it-overs, and they're just, I thought they were super cute, so I kept them. Anyways, back to the kind of emotional weekend. I know some people are going to think I'm nuts, but whatever. I really don't care. About 18 months ago, a friend of mine in the doll community passed away. I'm not talking about Laura. She wasn't known really in the big community. She was just in a smaller group of a baby think-it-over neonate group that I'm in. In 2007, our group had a meetup in Minneapolis where she lived at the time, and most of us were staying at the hotel because Crystal was there, I was there, Cynthia, the friend that passed away, was there, and then 3 other doll friends were there. So it was just kind of a small meetup. We went to the Mall of America, we went to the zoo, and I think that's all we did because we were only there. We got there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we left Monday. It was what I think we did. Yeah, I want to say that's what we ended up doing. Either that or we got there Thursday and left Sunday. It was one of them. It was just a little short weekend. But anyways, Cynthia came to the mall with us. And then I want to say we left Monday because Saturday we went to the Mall of America, and Crystal has videos of that whole meetup. And then Sunday we went to the zoo, where Cynthia did not come to the zoo with us, but she came back to our hotel. Or she came to our hotel when we got back to the hotel after the zoo. And we ordered pizza and had a lot of fun that night. But anyways, in 2009, Crystal flew up to Fargo, where I was living at the time. I think I'm going to put her little ladybug shoes back on because I don't have any other shoes for her. And being Fargo is only about 3-ish hours from Minneapolis, we decided to take our babies to the Mall of America again. And then that night we met Cynthia at Sonic for supper after she got done with work. And that was the last time we got to see Cynthia, because not long after that, she ended up moving to Maine to be closer to her mother. And, I mean, we all kept in contact. I chatted with Cynthia on a pretty regular basis. Like, we talked at least a couple times a week. And, like, she always loved her dolls, but her mother did not like her dolls, did not approve of her dolls, so she pretty much had to pack her dolls away. And, she had started collecting American Girl dolls while she was there, and then she was able to keep her one RealCare. She had a RealCare 2, Abby, that she kept in her apartment with her, and the rest of them were pretty much put in their boxes and put in storage. So, fast forward 18 months, Cynthia passes away. We found out because her cousin had posted on her Facebook that she was no longer pain-free because she had gotten ill. I'm not going to go into details regarding her passing. I wouldn't call her old, but she was older than most of us in the group. We kind of all viewed her as like a mom or grandma type in our group. And she passed away young. And it was kind of like we were all a little upset, and a day or so after her passing, her Facebook page disappeared. I was able to track down her obituary, and a group of us sent a music box to the funeral home where her memorial was going to be held. The obituary didn't say anything about when the memorial would be, anything of that sort. It didn't mention any family. It just said, she leaves behind her mother, but it didn't say her mother's name. And so we sent this music box, and we never heard anything back. We kind of figured we would never see these dolls again. Personally, I thought her mom would have gone through her stuff and the first thing she would have gotten rid of was these dolls. Fast forward to Friday. Friday morning, I woke up and I had a strange dream. It didn't really seem strange at the time. I've had this happen before, where friends that have passed on or loved ones that have passed on have come to visit me in dreams in times that I either needed help with something, I was upset about something, I needed them. And none of that was going on when Cynthia came to me in my dream. And like I said, she was living in Maine at the time, and I dreamt that we went to Maine. I have no need or want or anything to go to Maine, but I was in Maine on a beach, and all of a sudden Cynthia was behind me giving me this huge hug. And then her and I talked for a while. What we talked about, I don't remember. I just remember being on the beach, Cynthia there hugging, and then us talking. So I woke up, not really thinking anything of it, just, she had been on my mind quite a bit prior to this dream, and it was just, the only thing I could think of was that she came to me because I was missing her. And went on with my day. I do swag bucks. And on swag bucks, I had earned a gift card for eBay. I hadn't been on eBay for a while. I really hadn't searched on anything in a while. So I, excuse me, hold on, my daughter's screaming. Sorry guys, it was actually my son freaking out about pajamas. Anyways, I do swag bucks. And I had earned a gift card for eBay. I was actually going to do a PayPal gift card, but the eBay ones were on sale on Swagbucks, so I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to do the eBay gift card because I can get more money with my points. I'll find something on eBay that I probably don't need, but you know what? It might be fine to splurge something on myself. I had gotten that, I had ordered that a week before, and I was kind of starting to wonder when it was going to come. Well, Friday afternoon, I got the email from Swagbucks saying your gift card is available. And that night I went onto eBay and I started looking at Baby Think It Over, which I hadn't done that in a while. Like, I want to say the last time that I actually did a Baby Think It Over search was back in November, if not before that. So I hadn't done a Baby Think It Over search in quite a while. Because honestly, back in November, I sold my other RealCare 2 Plus. And, well, I'm going to keep Luna. I was considering boxing her back up. I mean, I don't really have her on. Like I said, I was going to do like a demo quick with her, but I realized her battery needs to be charged again. So I just figured, you know what, I'll just box her back up. But for some reason, I was looking on Baby Think It Over stuff. And I saw this listing for an Asian sculpt. And so I clicked on it, and the pictures weren't very clear. And I'm looking at the pictures, and the seller had only taken a picture of the back of the doll to about here. Well, I'll lift up Luna's shirt right about here. Well, the difference between neonates and Baby Think It Overs is Baby Think It Overs have their box. Neonates, it's just a completely flat box. And honestly, I did not pay attention to her face because also neonates have eyelashes and eyebrows, and Baby Think It Overs do not. But I hadn't really paid attention to the face because, like I said, the pictures were kind of blurry. And I didn't really pay much attention to her face. So I clicked to the seller and I'm like, do you have a picture of like her whole back? Because I was questioning, was it a neonate? Was it a Baby Think It Over mannequin? Or was it a Baby Think It Over and it was just because you only got the top part of the shoulders that you didn't see where the cry box or the electronic door would be. So then I quickly asked that question. I went back into the auction and I'm looking at this baby and I noticed that it had the eyebrows and I think it has the eyelashes. I can't really tell because the picture is kind of blurry. But then I noticed something. On the doll's left wrist, there is a bracelet. Obviously, Luna doesn't have one. Actually, she does. It's just not on her. There was this bracelet. I recognized that bracelet. Back in 2007, when we had our meetup, Crystal from Life with Crystal had made all of us that went to the meetup a bracelet for our dolls. So I had taken a male and female doll. So she made the female doll, I believe it was a pink or purple. I want to say purple because I don't like pink. And then she made the boy blue because she knows I don't like pink. And then she had made some other bracelets for the other people that came for their babies. And it was one of those bracelets. Well, after the meetup, because Cynthia only got, I think, one, maybe two bracelets. I know I talked to Crystal during the meetup and was like, I love these bracelets. I want one for every doll that I have. And so when Crystal got back to Toronto, she made other colors for me in the bracelets to put on all of my dolls. So she made them for me, and I know she had said Cynthia, she was doing it for Cynthia as well. So Cynthia and I both bought bracelets for all of our babies from Crystal. And in this auction, this baby had this bracelet. I'm like, no way. This can't. Those babies are long gone. Like, I thought I would never see them again in my life. So I messaged Crystal and I show her the auction, and Crystal's like, yeah, that's a bracelet I made. No, this can't be. So anyways, she messaged the seller and I messaged the seller also. And I can't remember what her message was. Mine second message was, sorry to keep bothering you. But, before I messaged him, her and I were looking back at his selling history. And there was another neonate that we had missed last month that went up for sale. And it had the bracelet as well. I'm like, okay, this is just too much of a coincidence. But that auction, it said something about an estate sale. So I'm like, well, maybe her mom sold all the babies in a lot in an estate sale. This person just happened to purchase them and is now selling them. So I messaged the seller and I'm like, sorry to keep bothering you. This may sound crazy, but a dear friend of mine passed away. And here comes Jack. A dear friend of mine passed away about 18 months ago. And she had an extensive doll collection. I wouldn't really say extensive. She had a doll collection. And after she passed away, I wasn't sure how to contact the family to purchase a couple of her babies. Because they meant a lot to me. Being they came from her. And I'm like, do you have any more of these dolls? And Crystal messaged him too. I can't remember what her message said, But meanwhile, while we're waiting for him to reply back, her and I are looking through the listings again. And I'm going through them finer. And I noticed there were some American Girl dolls that he had sold recently. Now, Cynthia, like I had mentioned before, had American Girl dolls that she had displayed in her apartment prior to her passing. Those dolls her mom did not mind. It was the lifelike babies her mom thought were a waste of money. But, so I was looking and I'm like, well, I know she had Molly, which had sold. I know she had Emily, which had sold. And I know she had Cecile, which had sold. But the real kicker was, prior to her getting sick and passing, she had just purchased herself Samantha. Because American Girl had just brought Samantha back out. And when I clicked on that auction, I literally started crying. In the auction is Samantha. She's not in her clothes that she came with from American Girl. She is in a dress, a very specific dress. The last conversation I had with Cynthia prior to her getting sick and I wouldn't even say prior to her passing. Well, yeah. The last conversation that I have, because her and I text. When she was in the hospital, she would text me. But the last Facebook conversation her and I had, she had gotten sick. It was the illness kind of drug out for a few months. But she had sent me pictures of Julie, an American Girl Julie, Samantha, and Cecile. And the dress in the last messages, the last pictures Cynthia ever sent me, Samantha is wearing the dress that she was wearing in that auction. So I told Crystal those are her dolls. And then Crystal's like, what? So I quickly went through my Facebook, found the pictures, and screenshot it. I'm like, look at the dress that Samantha's wearing in this picture, and look at the dress Samantha's wearing in that auction. I'm like, this person has her dolls. What dolls he has, I don't know, but he has her dolls. So he messaged us both back, and he signed mine, Doug, saying, yes, I do have a bunch of dolls that I'm about to list for sale. Well, in Crystal's, he signed it, her cousin, Doug. And I know she had a cousin named Doug because she had talked about him before, as when I had talked to her, as well as, like, remembering on her Facebook page, when we found out she passed away, it was her cousin Doug that made the post about her passing. And anyways, Crystal and I, and then another friend, Tammy, the three of us have kind of been going back and forth talking to him all weekend. And today he listed a bunch of her dolls. I was able to purchase 2 of them. Crystal was able to purchase 1 and is watching another one that he tried to change the auction, but it won't let him. So she is watching that one, hopefully hoping to get that baby. And Tammy also purchased 2 of the babies. He's going to be listing some more of her babies. He's listed 2 other babies. That one was an Ashton Drake and one was a really old Reborn. Like, this doll was from like 2003 Reborn. So it's not really realistic looking. And he said he has a few more dolls to list. So we've notified other friends of ours that we think would be interested in purchasing and having one of Cynthia's babies. So I am kind of on pins and needles. There will be 3 technical box openings when these babies arrive, because one of Tammy's babies I purchased for her, she's actually reimbursing me, is just so that it could be shipped to my house. It is a RealCare 2 baby, and it needs to be programmed. So I have a programmer, Tammy doesn't. So what we're doing is we're having it shipped to my house, and I will program her, get it all set up, and then Tammy will pay for shipping to her house, and then Tammy will have her baby. Her second baby, I should say. But there will be, and then there's going to be 2 box openings. I'm going to do them separate because I know for a fact I will probably be bawling at the point I'm opening these boxes, because I never in a million years thought I would ever see these dolls again. And the one doll that I truly, truly wanted, he said that his aunt, Cynthia's mother, had sold a couple of the babies last week, I believe he said, to friends of Cynthia's that lived in her apartment building. But Tammy thinks I'm meant to have that baby. And she is dead set, so she's going to take it upon her. She's taken it upon herself to tell him to let the person who purchased the baby know if they ever want to sell it, I will be interested in it, which is true, because there was one of her babies that I absolutely loved. I mean, I'm getting 2 of her other babies, not that I won't love them any less, but there was one specific one that I absolutely was in love with. So that was kind of my emotional roller coaster weekend. I cannot wait until those babies are in my hands and I can hold them. Crystal was also able to get, Build-A-Bear used to have this side company called Friends to Be Made, which you basically made stuffed dolls instead of the stuffed animals. When Cynthia had gotten injured in an accident prior to moving, sorry about that, guys, now my battery died. But Build-A-Bear used to have this company called Friends to Be Made. They made cloth dolls that you could go in and you could stuff similar to Build-A-Bear, and then they had clothes and stuff similar to Build-A-Bear. In fact, in the Mall of America, they were right next to each other. When we had our first meetup trip, I made a Friends to Be Made doll. Crystal did. Our friend Tammy, I believe, made one for her daughter. And Cynthia wasn't with us when we did that part. She had met us for lunch, and I think she left right after lunch when we were at the Mall of America, because she had plans for the evening, I want to say. Not 100%, but she didn't shop with us, I know that. And we had done the Friends to Be Made. She didn't want to do the underwater world. That's what it was. We had done Friends to Be Made when we got there, I believe. Or did we do it at? I don't remember exactly the order we did it in. I just remember Cynthia wasn't there when we did it, but when she joined us at the hotel room Sunday night, she loved the dolls. Well, after she got hurt in an accident, a group of us had pitched together some money to buy her one and have it sent to her. And it kind of meant a lot to us. Well, Crystal, we were looking through stuff, and Crystal had made the comment to me, she's like, "You don't think he has that doll, do you?" And I'm like, well, it's worth a shot to ask him. And sure enough, he had the doll. Crystal will be getting that doll. And then, like I said, there is another doll that he currently, another neonate that he currently has on eBay that Crystal is trying to get. So, and then I got the 2, and Tammy got the 2, and we're kind of keeping an eye on his, kind of stalking his eBay page just to see when he lists other stuff, because I mean, to some people, these are dolls. These are pieces of vinyl. They're inanimate objects, which we know they're inanimate objects, but when it comes to, you have a friend that passed away, it's like having part of them again. I mean, nothing's going to bring Cynthia back. I can't have those late night conversations either on Facebook Messenger, or her and I used to have chats back when it was still Yahoo Messenger. And when she was in the hospital, she didn't have her phone with her computer with her. So she really wasn't on, she couldn't get on Facebook, but she still had her phone with her, so she'd text me. And my phone crashed and I lost all those texts. And I was so upset about that. I actually thought I lost the Facebook messages because of her Facebook being deleted. But I went looking for them and found them. So I'm glad I at least have those. And then I have some pictures of her and stuff like that with us, but nothing's going to bring her back, but it's just, you know, a little comforting to know that when I'm missing her, I can pick up this baby and know it was hers. No, she touched it. No, she loved this baby. No, she cuddled this baby. She dressed this baby. And obviously she didn't do Luna, but others will probably just look at it as a doll. And there are certain dolls in my collection that will never leave. My 4 neonates and my 1 specific baby Think It Over that my that was the last Christmas present I got before my grandfather passed away from my grandparents. I mean, those are forever babies, even though currently they're in my closet, packed away in storage. They won't be going anywhere. But I have already told my husband, I'm like, you know what, if something would happen to me, I need to make him buy. I mean, Crystal even was kind of talking about that. And as morbid as it sounds, like, what do you do with, what is your family going to do with your babies when you pass on? I have an older friend that has lots of babies. She actually has it's not even just a she shed. It's more like a she house that houses all her dolls. I mean, it's this huge shed in her backyard. And she's currently going through all of her dolls, labeling how much she paid for them, what their name is, what their sculpt is, blah, blah, blah. She's going through all her dolls and doing this. And there's certain dolls that she has that she wants her family to send to friends of hers. But I mean, the reality is, what does your family know what to do with your dolls when you pass on? So like in the case of Cynthia, I mean, instead of them putting up on eBay and them going to just random strangers that, well, they think it might be a fun doll. It's just, they don't know the love behind that doll. And so Crystal even said that. She's like, you know, I really need to get on the ball and make something, like, oh, to let Alex know, or let my mom know, or let whoever know that if something happens to me, I want this baby to go to this friend. I want this baby to go to that friend. I want this baby to go to this person. Like, stuff like that. And the babies that are my forever babies, the one that came from my grandparents, I'm thinking that one I just want to keep with my daughter. Even though, well, she's 5 right now, so she's into baby dolls to play with. But as she grows up, it might mean something more to her, I would hope. I don't know. But like the neonates, like, I know I'd want one to go to Crystal, one to go to Tammy. One to go to a friend of mine, Ashley. And I would say the other to go to my friend Heather, but I know her husband would absolutely hate me. Because he doesn't like the realistic looking dolls. I tease him about that a lot. But, you know, I need to make these plans. And like Tammy even said that she's going to let her mom know that the 2 babies she's going to get are the only 2 babies that she'll have. She had to sell all of her other babies, but she's like, those babies aren't going anywhere unless something happens to me. I know my girls won't want them, so I'm already telling my mom that I want this one to go to you, and she goes, the other one's going to go to Crystal. Just because she knows that we'll love and appreciate them. But, so, this probably became a way longer video than I wanted it to. I can't wait to do those box openings. And like I said, there's going to be 3 of them. Because I'm going to need to compose myself in between each video. And so, I know for Crystal, Tammy, and I, we are keeping the babies. Crystal and I yesterday tracked down what the babies' names were. So, we will be keeping the babies' names, what Cynthia named them. And, yeah, I'll show you a little bit of Jack. Jackie! But that was kind of my... I've been riding a high all weekend because of this. Like, excited. But it's been, you know, sad at the same time. But happy that we found them. And of course, he's coming to be pet. You know, people that I've told the dream to and kind of how this has come to, they're like, Cynthia came to you Friday morning to let you know, to think about her. Because why else would I have gone on to eBay looking for a search that I haven't looked for months, that I had no reason to even look at? Like, it's strange. Except for, you know, it's making sense. And, you know, it's gotten a bunch of us talking, like the 5 of us that, well, it would be 4 of us left that went to that original meetup. It's gotten us talking. We're talking about doing another meetup again. Like, we're all getting excited and, like, getting the ball rolling to get this planned so that we can do this. And, you know, we're kind of doing it in memory of Cynthia. And it was like we've all kind of drifted apart as years have gone. I mean, we're still in the group together. We still talk together. We're all still Facebook friends. But it's like we're coming back together. We're being close again. Like, that closeness that we had before is all starting to come back. Like, around the time that we had the meetup. I mean, Crystal and I I've always talked a lot together, either whatever messenger at the time. And like a few of them, like I've talked to here and there, but nothing like I used to in the past. Like before and after the meetup, I remember I would spend like being online. I would be up way too late, but I'd be talking to my friend, my baby thinking over neonate friends. Like, I would have like conversations with Cynthia, Crystal, Tammy, and like 4 other Facebook or Dolly friends, and we would be talking for hours. And, you know, as time has gone on, we've started families, we've gotten married. It's like life just got busy. I wouldn't even, excuse me again. I wouldn't even say life got in the way, but the talking and the friendships just didn't have that priority that it had before kids. And it's almost like Cynthia's bringing us all back together for a reason. Like, she's seeing us drifting apart, but she's trying to, she's doing this. I know in my heart that there's a reason why I had that dream. There's a reason why I found that doll. And now we're talking again. Like, Tammy specifically, she hadn't really talked to any of us in a while. She had called me a few months ago, and her and I talked on the phone for quite a bit. But before that, we hadn't talked in almost a year. And this weekend, like when I first started texting her and messaging her Friday, we talked really late Friday night. Yesterday, she actually called me on the phone and we talked for like over an hour. Today, we talked for almost 2 hours. She's planning to call me again tomorrow when our kids are at school so we can talk and we're not as distracted. I mean, it's things like that. It's these people that have meant a lot to us in the past still mean a lot to me, but like we've just drifted apart due to, you know, Tammy's running her kids to do this and she doesn't have time to talk. I'm running my kids to do that. I don't have time to talk. Our one friend has 2 younger little girls and then the other friend has another young child. They're just too busy with their babies to be able to talk. So it just, life got busy. Life changed, but in the same sense, you know, to bring back the nostalgia. Will this meetup that we're planning be the same? No. Cynthia won't be there. This won't bring Cynthia physically back to us. But I know she'll be there in heart. She will be there glowing in all of our hearts. Like, when I was talking to the one friend, I'm like, I'm planning to fly up there. I was thinking about driving up to where we're planning on having it, but it's just going to be way too long a drive for the time that we're going to be there. And then I know other stuff will play in for me, so I'm thinking, you know what, it might just be easier if my husband stays home with the kids. We have family down here to help him with the kids while I'm gone, because it's not going to be like a week or 2 weeks. It's just going to be kind of an extended weekend, we're thinking. But so I'm thinking of flying up there. Crystal and I have already talked. We'll probably end up sharing a room while we're there. But I was talking to this other friend, and I'm like, oh, I know I will be bringing Luna with because she's my RealCare too. And, you know, just walking around the Mall of America with a baby think it over turned on, the reactions you get are priceless. Crystal and I have done this twice before. So I know for a fact Miss Luna will be coming with. And I'm like, oh, with the baby that I bring. And then I'm like, oh, who am I kidding? You know me. I'm not just bringing one baby. I will be bringing probably 3. She's like, what? And I'm like, well, I've got to bring my RealCare too, which is Luna. And I said, and I'll be bringing Cynthia's babies with me as well. I go, I need to bring at least, I go, 1, if not 2 of them. It's all going to depend upon, you know, what I can fit in where. I don't have a dolly bag to travel. I'm like already trying to figure out the logistics of this. I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to have to bring my 1 stroller. Am I going to bring the car seat? Am I really going to need the car seat? So I'm going back and forth about certain things. I'm like, okay, if I do that, am I going to gate check the car seat? Am I going to just check the car seat all the way through? Am I going to, like, and then I'm just going through different scenarios in my head, and I'm like, you know what? I'll get it figured out. But for sure, Luna will not be, she will not be, I won't check any of the babies. They're all going to be carried with me. She will probably be out just because of the electronics. I know Crystal has said in the past that she's needed to open up the back of her babies going through security. So, so she'll definitely have to be with me. The other 2, I can probably, I mean, in my carry-on, all I really need in my carry-on is, like, a change of clothes for me, and then, like, my medication. And, like, my carry-on bag will be able to fit that quite easily. And I'm just thinking, I'm going to have a checked bag, obviously, but I can put the other 2 babies in the carry-on. And then, obviously, she'll have to go through the x-ray and stuff, but I can just, I know I'm going to gate check the stroller, just because it's going to be easier. It will be easier to me, even getting on the plane. Like, I'll probably bring one of my baby carriers with, And once we get to the gate and it's getting closer to boarding time, I will probably put her in the carry-on so that I can get onto the plane, even though she'll have to come out of the carrier when the plane takes off. But this video is probably way too long, and like I said, to make the other videos shorter, I'm just going to cut them up. But I hope you enjoyed this way too long video. If you made it to this far in, please give it a thumbs up. Like the comment, which would be the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Luna will probably, I want to do more videos with Luna. I've decided not to pack her away. And I know that the other two babies, when they get here, will be making quite a few appearances in my videos, just because I don't want to pack them away like I did my others. And I'm almost to the point of considering unpacking my other ones. But I hope everybody had a great weekend, and I will see you all later.